Hello, good evening and welcome to Rupavahini News.
I'm Shanika Pereira.
And I'm Clifford Richards. First of all, a look at the headlines. The Sri Lankan president begins an official tour of the United Arab Emirates. The Australian parliamentary group appreciates the government's measures towards development in the north. A program is to be implemented to improve trade between Sri Lanka and Pakistan. Sri Lanka's trade export revenue recorded a new high last year. Iran halts uranium enrichment under a nuclear deal.
Now if we look at those and other stories in detail. President Mahinda Rajapaksa arrived in Abu Dhabi this evening. He is on a one-day official tour of the United Arab Emirates. President Rajapaksa was greeted at the airport by the chairman of the Department of Municipal Council Affairs in the UAE, Majid Ali Al Mansouri, and the Sri Lankan ambassador in UAE, Dr. Mahinda Balasurya. President Rajapaksa will attend the Zaid Future Energy Prize Award ceremony to be held in Abu Dhabi today. President Rajapaksa is expected to hold bilateral talks with high-level authorities of the United Arab Emirates tomorrow before his return to the island. He was accompanied by Foreign Minister Professor G.L. Pires and Supervisory MP Sajan Divas Gunawardana.
And back home, the visiting Australian parliamentary group says that a true development is evident in the northern province, although certain elements were making various allegations. The government has followed a streamlined procedure in providing infrastructure facilities for resettled people in the province. They made these observations when they met Governor of the Northern Province, Major General G.A. Chandasiri, yesterday. Well, this meeting took place at the Governor's office in Jaffna. Governor G.A. Chandasiri told the visiting Australian delegation that there was a rapid development in the Northern Province during the past 4 years. The government took prompt measures to bring normalcy to the community life, improving infrastructure facilities in the Northern Province. Attention was focused on landmine clearing and resettlement of people. He added that elections were conducted and powers handed over to the people's representatives in accordance with the Constitution. The Australian parliamentary delegation pointed out that the resettlement of around 300,000 displaced persons within a very short period of 3 years, ending the 30-year-old terrorism, was a significant victory gained by the Sri Lankan government. They said that it was a great example to the entire world. They also pledged to continue their support to Sri Lanka.
And I wish you all the best for the function today. I'm sure it's a very exciting day. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
A large number of applicants have stepped in to contest from the United People's Freedom Alliance in the upcoming Western and Southern Provincial Council elections. Interviews to select suitable candidates were held at SLFP headquarters in Colombo today. The General Secretary of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, Minister Maithripala Sirisena, said that the list of candidates of the party will be completed by the 27th of this month. A large number of new faces have applied for candidacy. However, there are only 25 vacancies for candidates in both provinces. Educated, intelligent and popular personalities, as well as artists, were among them. The nomination board comprised Ministers A.H.M. Fauzi, Nimal Siripala de Silva, Andhra Priyadarshana, Ranjit Siambalapitiya, Nirmala Kotalavala, Vijit Vijay Munisoiza, Mahindanand Alutgamage, S.M. Chandrasena and Chief Ministers Mahipala Herath, Sarath Ekanayaka and Shashid Rajapaksa.
Well, Pakistan has proposed to increase the bilateral trade with Sri Lanka up to $1.5 billion. Well, this proposal was made by President Mamnoon Hussain. Minister Nimal Siripala de Silva, who is on an official tour of Pakistan, held talks with Pakistani President Mamnoon Hussain during the weekend. Talks were centered on ways and means to implement the Pakistan-Sri Lanka Free Trade Agreement in a more effective manner. Business community of the two countries are to be involved widely in transactions. The need to further strengthen diplomatic relations has also been reiterated. Minister Nimal Siripala de Silva extended the government's gratitude to Pakistan for its assistance to Sri Lanka.
Several ministers have accused certain media institutions for engaging in a conspiracy to push the government into difficulty. Ministers Sumedha Jayasena and S.M. Chandrasena noted that this was clearly indicated in several news reports which highlighted their distorted statements. Minister Sumedha Jayasena said that a certain newspaper has questioned her about a statement made at a meeting in Monoragala district. This news report has completely distorted her statement, she said. Minister S.M. Chandrasena denied the news report which highlighted a statement made by him relating to casinos. He said that he has not made such a statement of introducing casinos despite any opposition. Minister Sumedha Jayasena said that some newspapers were used to distorting statements being made by ministers. There was no start or end or any connection about the incident. All these reports were cooked up stories. She said that there was a suspicion that all these actions may have been a conspiracy against the government.
Well, Senior Administrative Officer Vimal Rupavahini assumes duties as the new chairman of the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. His appointment was made by President Mahinda Rajapaksa. The new SLRC chairman Vimal Rupavahini was welcomed by Director General of the corporation Chandapala Liyanage and staff members at the corporation premises. That was this afternoon. Mass Media and Information Ministry Secretary Dr. Charita Herath graced the occasion. New chairman Vimal Rupavahini assumed duties at the corporation, giving prominence to all religious observances. He is a graduate of the Sri Jayawardhanapura University. He holds a management degree from the Birmingham University of England. Mr. Rupavahini has 30 years of experience in the Sri Lanka Administrative Service. He was the former secretary to the Ministry of Cultural Affairs. He also served as the chairman of the Central Environmental Authority. The new chairman addressed the corporation officers after his assumption of duties in the presence of SLRC Director General Chandapala Liyanage, Chief Executive Gamini Rasaputra and SLRC board members, that's SLBC Chairman Hudson Samarasinghe, National Film Corporation Chairman Asoka Serasinghe, and also Professor Rohana Lakshman Piyadasa and senior officials.
වැඩබාර ගැනීමේ අවස්ථාවට සැපමිනි සියලුම දෙනාට
Meanwhile, Attorney at Law Nimal Bopage, who was appointed as the working director of the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation, has assumed his duties today. He is also an officer of the Administrative Service as well as an accountant by profession.
President Mahinda Rajapaksa says that the Most Venerable Valigama Nyanaratana Mahanayaka Thero was a great Buddhist priest who always gave meaningful advice in accordance with the Dhamma, with great passion and intelligence during problematic occasions faced by the nation and the Buddha Sasana. He noted that the late prelate was an eminent scholar who paved the correct path to the members of the Mahasangha. The President made these observations in a message of condolence on the demise of the Mahanayaka of Amarapura Sri Dharma Rakshit Mahanikaya and Chief Priest of Ratmalana Mallikaramaya, the Agga Mahapandita and Most Venerable Dr. Valigama Nyanaratana Thero. He passed away at the age of 101. He was conversant in Pali, Sanskrit and Sinhala languages. He was the author of over 100 Dhamma books. The Most Venerable Nyanaratana Mahanayaka Thero also attended the 6th Dhamma Convention held in Burma representing Sri Lanka. In his message, the President noted that the demise of the late Mahanayaka Thero was an irreparable loss to Buddha Sasana. Prime Minister D.M. Jayaratne paid his last respects to the Most Venerable, the late Valigama Nyanaratana Thero, yesterday at Mallikaramaya in Ratmalana. The cremation of the prelate will take place in Mount Lavinia with full state patronage on Wednesday, the 22nd at 2 p.m.
The new Vice President of the Asian Development Bank, or ADB, Wenkai Zhang, says that Sri Lanka has gained proper results using financial facilities provided by the ADB. He expressed the belief that the island nation will become a mid-income earning country within a short period. Mr. Zhang expressed these views at a discussion with Minister Basil Rajapaksa in Colombo today. Well, at this meeting held at the Economic Development Ministry, attention was focused on Sri Lanka's infrastructure facilities development and also rural and urban area planning development, minimizing of unemployment, generation of new employment and improvement of transport, health, tourism and also education sectors. The Asian Development Bank has provided assistance for the environmental friendly projects, irrigation and other water supply programs. The new Vice President of the bank, Venkai Zhang, noted that the progress of these programs was excellent. Minister Basil Rajapaksa disclosed that the government has launched a large-scale development program with the ending of the war. Accordingly, the country has been able to achieve rapid development in several spheres. The minister pointed out that programs such as improving the agriculture industry, creating small and medium-scale industries, improving school education, the setting up of greenhouses and Divinaguma program have helped to improve the living standards of the people. Several ADB and government officials attended the discussion.
The Plantation Industries Ministry says that the highest income of $1.5 billion from tea exports was recorded for the first time in the island last year. 340 million kilograms of tea had been exported during this period. This was disclosed by Minister Mahinda Samarasinghe at a ceremony held at the Tea Research Institute in Thalawakale yesterday. A large number of tea smallholders have stepped into tea cultivation again last year. The government has provided financial assistance to encourage tea smallholders. A sum of 350,000 rupees each was given to cultivate tea in 1 hectare of land for persons who resumed tea cultivation. A sum of 250,000 rupees each was given per hectare for persons newly beginning tea cultivation. A bag of fertilizer was priced at 1,300 rupees under the government's fertilizer subsidy scheme, with the aim of increasing tea production. In addition, measures have been taken to provide tea plants free of charge and organic fertilizer to cultivators through the Plantation Industries Ministry.
A ceremony to felicitate doctors and also sponsorship institutes who contributed immensely for Vision 2020. The national program was held at the National Eye Hospital in Colombo yesterday. Around 63 million rupees have been received as donations for the Vision 2020 program during the past 2 years. Well, this program, Vision 2020 national program, was launched targeting the Millennium Development of the World Health Organization. A census on the persons suffering from eye ailments was launched in October last year. It will be concluded on the 22nd of this month. It has been revealed that over 163,000 school children are suffering from vision impairments. Another 450,000 are under the risk of vision ailments. Around 150,000 elders are blind. This program is being implemented to minimize eye ailments by the year 2020. The conducting of eye clinics, performing of surgeries and presenting of spectacles will be carried out under this program. Felicitation awards were presented to doctors, institutions and organizations who contributed immensely to the Vision 2020 national program. The ceremony was held under the patronage of Health Services Director General Dr. Palitha Mahipala.
Midwifery training is to be given to nursing students at nurses training schools countrywide with effect from today after their 3-year nurses training. Public Services United Nurses Union says that midwifery training is important for these students in providing an efficient nurses service. These details were revealed at a media conference at Narayanpeta Abhirama Temple this morning. Representatives of the Public Services United Nurses Union noted that the providing of midwifery training for nursing students to prevent infection of various diseases among pregnant mothers was a true investment towards the improvement in the field of health. The President of the Union, the Venerable Muruthettuave Anandathero, reiterated that his union is prepared to answer any attempt by any party to disrupt this initiative. The registration of nurses students for midwifery training began on the 17th of this month. The Venerable Anandathero said that family health workers will not be affected by providing this training to nursing students. Members of the Public Services United Nurses Union were among those who attended the media conference.
Well, the UN nuclear watchdog says that Iran has begun curbing uranium enrichment under a deal which will also see international sanctions eased. The move is part of a nuclear deal it reached with the US, Russia, China and the European powers last November. Well, earlier, centrifuges used for enrichment were disconnected at the Natanz plant. The move is part of a nuclear deal reached with US, Russia, China and the European powers last November. By the end of the day, Iran should be able to resume petrochemical and other exports with billions to its economy. The UN nuclear watchdog confirmed that as of today, Iran has ceased enriching uranium above 5% purity at the Natanz and Fordo facilities, according to a confidential report by its inspectors obtained by the BBC. Iran has also begun diluting its stockpile of uranium enriched to 20% and agreed to the details on how UN inspectors will have increased access to Natanz and Fordo, the report says. The nuclear deal is signed to prevent Iran developing atomic weapons. Tehran denies trying to do so, saying its nuclear program is solely for peaceful purposes. And before we go, look at the top stories once again. The Sri Lankan president begins an official tour of the United Arab Emirates. The Australian Parliamentary Group appreciates the government's measures towards development in the north. A program is to be implemented to improve trade between Sri Lanka and Pakistan. Sri Lanka's tea export revenue records a new high last year, and Iran halts uranium enrichment under a nuclear deal. Well, that's all the news we have for you this evening. Do enjoy the rest of the program. Take care and good night.
Good night.